Welcome back to Mighty Habits, everybody. I'm Steven, your guide to habits that can really transform your life. And today we're diving deep into a topic that has fascinated thinkers for centuries, longevity. Joining me today is Mary, a fountain of wisdom on all things health and wellness.
Delighted to be here, Stephen.
Now, Mary, I gotta admit, even for a show called Mighty Habits, the word longevity sometimes feels a little clinical, doesn't it? Like we're talking about lab rats instead of, living a vibrant life.
You hit the nail on the head there. That's why I'm excited to talk about Outlive by Dr. Peter Attia. It flips the script. It's not just about tacking on years, but truly experiencing vitality and purpose throughout those years. We're talking about extending your health span, those years where you're not just existing, but thriving.
Healthspan. I love that term. Imagine waking up decades from now feeling as energized and engaged as you do today. What would that kind of extended health span unlock for you? What adventures, what passions could you pursue? That's the kind of picture Dr. Attia paints in Outlive. And frankly, it's a picture I'm pretty excited about.
It's a powerful vision. And Dr. Attia backs it up with some truly fascinating science. One of the things he dives deep into is the role of genetics in aging. It's not just about inheriting good genes from your parents. It's about understanding how specific genes, like APOE4, can influence your risk for certain diseases, and more importantly, what we can do about it.
Okay, so we're not just prisoners of our DNA. There's actually something we can do to shift the odds in our favor.
Absolutely. Dr. Attia goes beyond just identifying risk factors. He gives us practical, actionable steps to mitigate them. For example, for someone with the APOE4 gene, which can increase the risk of Alzheimer's disease, he recommends strategies like intermittent fasting and minimizing processed foods, which can have a protective effect on brain health.
So we're talking about real, tangible lifestyle changes that can actually make a difference in how our genes express themselves. That's empowering.
Exactly. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. Dr. Attia explores a range of groundbreaking discoveries, from the benefits of specific medications like metformin, a diabetes drug that's showing promise in slowing down the aging process, to the potential of emerging technologies like stem cell therapy.
Metformin for longevity. That's not something you hear every day. It sounds like Dr. Attia isn't afraid to push the boundaries of conventional medical wisdom.
Not at all. He challenges us to rethink our approach to healthcare, moving away from a reactive, disease-focused model towards a proactive, preventative one. It's about understanding the underlying mechanisms of aging and taking steps to optimize our health span before disease even has a chance to take hold.
So it's not just about living longer, it's about living better for longer, right? It's about feeling vibrant and capable well into our later years. That's something I think we can all get behind.
Precisely. And that's why I believe Outlive is a game changer. It gives us the tools and knowledge to take control of our health, destiny, and age on our own terms.
You know, Mary, I'm starting to see why this book is generating so much buzz. Dr. Attia seems to be blending cutting-edge science with a practical, actionable approach that anyone can apply.
Absolutely. It's a fascinating read for anyone interested in understanding the latest science on longevity and finding practical ways to improve their health and well-being.
It definitely sounds like it's worth adding to the reading list.
Now, beyond genetics, Dr. Attia also delves into the role of metabolism and its impact on aging. He argues that understanding how our bodies process energy is key to unlocking a longer, healthier life.
This is where things start to get really interesting for me. I've always been fascinated by the connection between what we eat and how we age.
And Dr. Attia doesn't disappoint. He breaks down complex metabolic processes in a way that's easy to understand and provides practical tips for optimizing our metabolic health. For instance, he emphasizes the importance of maintaining insulin sensitivity, which is crucial for regulating blood sugar levels and preventing a host of age-related diseases.
So it's not just about counting calories or cutting carbs. It's about understanding how our bodies utilize energy and making choices that support optimal metabolic function.
Exactly. Dr. Attia even suggests considering tools like continuous glucose monitors to gain a deeper understanding of your individual metabolic responses to different foods and activities.
A continuous glucose monitor. That's something I usually associate with managing diabetes. But I can see how having that data could be incredibly insightful for anyone looking to optimize their metabolic health, regardless of their current health status.
It's all about personalization, which is another core theme running through Outlive. Dr. Attia stresses that there is no one-size-fits-all approach to longevity. What works for one person might not work for another.
That makes a lot of sense. We're all unique individuals with our own genetic makeup, lifestyle, and health history. So how do we navigate this personalized approach to longevity? Where do we even begin?
That's where Dr. Attia's expertise really shines. He provides a framework for thinking about your own health and longevity, and offers concrete steps you can take to start making changes today.
All right, Mary, I'm hooked. Give me a sneak peek into some of these actionable steps. What are some key takeaways that our listeners can start thinking about right now?
Well, one of the most impactful things Dr. Attia advocates for is the power of strength training. And he's not just talking about bulking up at the gym, he's talking about building functional strength that allows you to move freely and maintain your independence as you age.
I love that. It's about being able to play with your grandkids, dance at your great-grandchild's wedding, or simply get up from a chair without assistance. These are the things that truly enrich our lives.
Precisely. It's about building resilience and maintaining vitality well into our later years.
So strength training is definitely going on my to-do list. What else should we be prioritizing?
Another key piece of the puzzle is nutrition. Dr. Attia dives deep into the science of nutrition and debunks a lot of common myths about what constitutes a healthy diet.
I'm all ears. There's so much conflicting information out there about diet and nutrition. It can be hard to know what to believe.
Exactly. But Dr. Attia cuts through the noise and presents a clear, science-backed approach to eating for longevity. For example, he emphasizes the importance of consuming adequate protein, especially as we age, to support muscle mass and overall health.
That makes sense. I know that as we get older, we tend to lose muscle mass naturally. So making sure we're getting enough protein to counteract that process seems crucial.
It's essential. Dr. Attia also highlights the importance of limiting processed foods, refined sugars, and unhealthy fats, which can contribute to inflammation and accelerate the aging process.
I think we all know that processed foods aren't doing our bodies any favors. But sometimes it's good to have a scientific reminder of why they're so detrimental to our health. It helps us make more informed choices.
Absolutely. And it's not just about what we eat, it's also about when we eat. Dr. Attia explores the concept of time-restricted feeding, which involves limiting your eating window to a specific period each day.
Time-restricted feeding, that's an intriguing concept. What are the benefits of that approach?
Well, studies have shown that time-restricted feeding can improve insulin sensitivity, reduce inflammation, and even promote cellular repair. It's essentially giving our bodies a break from digestion and allowing them to focus on other essential processes.
So it's not just about the food itself, but also about giving our bodies the time and space they need to process and utilize those nutrients effectively.
Exactly. And Dr. Attia doesn't just tell us what to do, he explains the why behind it. He provides the scientific rationale for each of his recommendations, so we can understand the mechanisms at play and make informed decisions about our own health. And that's what makes Outlive so compelling. It's not just a list of do's and don'ts. It's a deep dive into the science of aging that empowers you to make informed choices about your health.
I'm starting to realize that this isn't just a book about living longer. It's about living better. It's about taking control of our health destiny and maximizing our potential for vitality and well-being.
Exactly. And that potential extends beyond just the physical. Dr. Attia also delves into the importance of mental and emotional well-being for longevity. He argues that cultivating strong social connections, finding purpose and meaning in life, and managing stress effectively are all crucial components of a long and healthy life.
That resonates with me deeply. It's easy to get caught up in the physical aspects of health, diet, exercise, supplements. But we can't forget about nurturing our mental and emotional well-being as well.
Absolutely. Dr. Attia highlights the power of mindfulness and meditation practices for reducing stress and improving cognitive function. He even shares his own personal experiences with these practices and how they've benefited him.
It's always inspiring to hear experts walking the walk, not just talking the talk.
Yeah.
It adds a layer of authenticity and credibility to their message.
It certainly does. And speaking of walking the walk, Dr. Attia is a big proponent of incorporating regular physical activity into our lives. And not just any type of exercise, but movement that challenges us both physically and mentally.
So we're talking about more than just hitting the treadmill or lifting weights. What kind of activities does he recommend?
He encourages us to explore activities that engage our minds and bodies, such as dancing, hiking, martial arts, or even simply playing games with our friends and family. The key is to find activities that we enjoy and that keep us moving and engaged.
I love that. It's not about forcing ourselves to do something we dread. It's about finding joy in movement and incorporating it into our lives in a way that feels sustainable and enjoyable.
Exactly. And that's what makes Outlive such a refreshing take on longevity. It's not about deprivation or restriction. It's about embracing a holistic approach to health and well-being that nourishes our minds, bodies, and spirits.
It sounds like Dr. Attia is advocating for a pretty significant shift in perspective. Instead of fearing aging, He's inviting us to embrace it as an opportunity for continued growth and fulfillment.
He certainly is. He challenges us to rewrite the narrative of aging and to see it not as a period of decline, but as a chance to live our best lives, to pursue our passions, and to make a meaningful impact on the world.
You know, Mary, one of the things that's really striking me about Outlive is that it's not just a book for people who are already obsessed with health and longevity. It feels like it has something to offer everyone, regardless of their current health status or age.
I couldn't agree more. Dr. Attia presents complex scientific concepts in a way that's accessible and engaging for anyone who's curious about improving their health and well-being. He's not preaching from a soapbox. He's having a conversation with us, inviting us to join him on this journey of discovery.
And it's a journey I'm finding increasingly fascinating. Dr. Attia's passion for this topic is contagious. And I have to say, I'm feeling pretty inspired to take some of these principles and apply them to my own life.
I'm thrilled to hear that. And that's ultimately the goal, isn't it? To take this knowledge and translate it into action, to empower ourselves to live longer, healthier, and more fulfilling lives.
Absolutely. And speaking of action, there's one aspect of Outlive that I haven't heard you mention yet, the concept of personalized medicine. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Of course. Dr. Attia argues that we need to move away from a one-size-fits-all approach to healthcare and start tailoring treatments to an individual's unique genetic makeup, lifestyle, and environmental factors. He believes that this personalized approach is key to optimizing our health span and preventing age-related diseases.
It makes perfect sense. We're all different. And what works for one person might not work for another. How do we even begin to navigate this world of personalized medicine? It seems like it could be quite overwhelming.
Dr. Attia acknowledges the challenges but also highlights the incredible potential of this approach. He believes that advancements in technology, such as artificial intelligence and genetic testing, will play a crucial role in making personalized medicine more accessible and affordable.
It's exciting to imagine a world where medicine is less about reacting to illness and more about proactively optimizing our health based on our individual needs and predispositions.
It truly is a paradigm shift. And while it might sound futuristic, it's already starting to happen. There are companies now offering personalized genetic testing and health recommendations based on your individual DNA.
Wow, the future is already here. It sounds like Dr. Attia is at the forefront of this movement, pushing the boundaries of what's possible in the realm of health and longevity.
He certainly is a pioneer in this field, and his work is incredibly important because it's helping to shift the conversation around aging from one of fear and decline to one of possibility and empowerment.
That's a powerful message.
Yeah.
And it's one that I think we all need to hear. We have more control over our health destiny than we might realize, and Outlive gives us the tools and knowledge to take charge and create the future we want.
Precisely. It's about understanding the science of aging and applying it to our own lives in a way that feels empowering and sustainable.
Mary, this has been a truly enlightening conversation. I feel like I've gained a whole new perspective on aging and longevity. Is there anything else you'd like to share about Outlive before we wrap up?
Just one final thought. Dr. Attia emphasizes that the journey to longevity is not a sprint, it's a marathon. It's about making gradual, sustainable changes to our lifestyles that compound over time. It's about building healthy habits that support us throughout our lives.
That's such a powerful reminder. It's not about trying to do everything perfectly overnight. It's about making small, consistent steps in the right direction. It's about embracing the journey and enjoying the process.
Exactly. And that's ultimately what Outlive is all about. Empowering us to live our best lives now and for years to come.
It really is about shifting our mindset from one of limitation to one of possibility.
Exactly. And that brings us to a really crucial question that Dr. Attia poses in Outlive.
Okay, I'm intrigued.
He asks us to imagine, if we could truly optimize our health span, not just live longer, but be vibrantly well for those extra years. What would you do with that time? What dreams would you pursue? What impact would you make on the world?
Wow, that's powerful.
It really makes you think, doesn't it? It's not just about adding years to our lives, but adding life to our years.
It's about purpose.
Mhm.
It's about making the most of the time we have and living a life that feels truly meaningful.
Precisely.
I think
Right.
that's a perfect note to end on. Outlive isn't just a book about extending our lifespan. It's a roadmap to living a richer, more vibrant life. It's about making choices today that empower us to embrace the future with vitality and purpose.
I couldn't have said it better myself.
Well, Mary, this has been an incredibly insightful deep dive into Outlive.
Mm.
I know I've learned a lot, and I'm sure our listeners have too. Thank you so much for sharing your expertise with us.
It was my pleasure, Stephen. Always happy to talk about this fascinating topic.
And for all of you Mighty Habits listeners out there, if you're intrigued by the ideas we've discussed today, I highly recommend checking out Outlive by Dr. Peter Attia. It's a thought-provoking and inspiring read for anyone who wants to take control of their health and rewrite their aging story.
It's a game changer.
And if you enjoyed this deep dive, be sure to subscribe to Mighty Habits for more explorations into the world of habits, health, and human potential. We'll be back soon with another episode designed to help you unlock your best self.
Until then, keep those mighty habits rolling.
And keep striving for a life well lived. See you next time.